Hello, I believe we are now live. Let me just maximize my video screen so I can see everything I need to see. Hello, beautiful people. I hope you're having a nice day. It's a bit of a grey day here in Canberra, so hopefully it's not affecting our moods too much. Now, before I get started, I'd just like to see if anyone is here at the moment. Please say hi if you are. It's hard for me to see at this present time if anyone's on with me. I've got 2 people on, but I would love for you to say hello. Let me know who you are. And if you're watching this replay, hashtag replay, and yeah, say hello. I might just quickly check Facebook on my phone because I can't see any comments coming up. Let me just put that sound down. All right, no comments coming up on my screen, on my phone at the moment. Okay. Hello, my name is Bree Boucher. After all of that fussing about, I better say who I am. My name is Bree Boucher. I am a soul alignment coach. I am an NLP practitioner, clinical hypnosis practitioner, EFT practitioner, and a life and success coach as well. I want to say thank you to Rita for inviting me to share myself a little bit here today. And before I get into this talk, I want to start with an acknowledgement. So I acknowledge that I'm hosting this quick talk on the lands of the Ngunnawal people. I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land in which we all are gathering today, and I acknowledge any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders peoples who are present here today in this training, in this talk. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. So I'm sure you can probably see my jumper. It says self-love, and my talk today is about self-care equals self-worth. Now, in my opinion, you can't have one without the other, and so in some ways I could have called it self-worth equals self-care. So it kind of will rotate through a little bit, you know, like one is the prominent subject, and the other one is a sort of, you know, like a balancing act. Now, I do want to just let you know that my energy is a little bit different to potentially you've seen me before. Ordinarily on these lives that I do, I tend to show up with a lot of vivacious energy, and it's potentially starting to come back as I talk a little bit more, but I've been in bear mode for a few days now. So if you caught Beck McFarlane's talk the other day, yesterday I think it was, and she talked about soul modes, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about bear mode. And if you don't know anything about it, then you definitely need to get your hands on the Soul Modes book by Carly Marie. So I thought it was actually quite fitting for me to talk today about how I'm feeling as well, because firstly, it's important to show up in every kind of like aspect of our life, and also I think that when we're in bear mode, there's a lot of self-love kind of need to go, you know, that self-care is really important, but at the same time we might not feel like we're worthy. And so I definitely wore this jumper on purpose. So you can see it says self-love, and I'm going to turn around and show you the back of this jumper, and I'll read out what it says in a minute in case you can't see that. So what it says is self-love, self-care, 20% laugh out loud, 30% sip tea and eat well, 30% stretch, breathe, meditate, and 20% do something fun. So it's absolutely fitting that I have to wear this jumper. It's like my favorite. Millennial pink is like hashtag goals my favourite colour, but it was an obvious choice for me to make today to wear this jumper. And as you know, as it says on the back, there's a range of different ways to show ourselves. Thank you, Belinda. Thanks for saying you love the jumper. I love it too. Yeah, it's certainly, it explains, I suppose, a different way of showing ourselves love and showing ourselves care. So often we think about self-care as something that we need to like go out and get our nails done, which I did yesterday, having a bath, you know, snacking on food that really like lights us up. But it's not just about that. It's about showing up for ourselves. It's looking for things that bring us joy and creating those even in our like low moments. And so you know, like the laugh out loud element, doing something that makes you feel happy and joyful, even when you're a little bit low and low vibe like I am at the moment. It's always important to sort of like bring that self-love back into your life. So what I see self-love is, it's giving yourself what you need, it's nurturing, it's compassion, showing yourself compassion, showing yourself that, telling yourself that you come first, because you cannot care for someone else if you don't care for yourself first, and filling your cup. So, you know, filling up the bear mode cup or filling up the whole cup, you know, like looking after yourself and ensuring that you are filling up your cup so that you are overflowing, you know. So I guess, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that just really briefly. And where I see self-worth is, it comes from knowing who you are. It comes from like how you feel, what you love, and what you hate. You know, as much as knowing what you love is really important, it's also knowing yourself enough to know what you don't enjoy. And so if you don't enjoy showing up on camera in your super low mode, low vibe, then don't do it. Whereas for me, I knew it was something I needed to do today to share more of myself and share who I am a bit more. So the other part of what I see, where I see self-worth interlinking with self-care, is in around purpose. So in my view, that is that we won't have a sense of self-worth if we don't have our purpose or our sense of identity worked out. And often what will happen is, around purpose, is we will find ourselves a little bit lost in the world if we don't feel like we have a purpose in life. And you can sort of see how that will, if you don't feel like you have a purpose, you can see how you can't feel worthy in yourself. Now, I guess I wanted to talk about that because that's something that I'm very passionate about people, you know, exploring who they are and exploring, you know, their purpose in life. Because once you have identified that, then you can start to work towards, you know, feeling worthy about yourself. That will then start to build momentum and motivation around your purpose or your life's plan. And that will start to then build your confidence, which then leads into, you know, it just is this nice cycle of just reinforcing that self-worth and that ability to continue to show up for yourself. Now, if you find that your sort of self-worth is quite low, then it's going to be hard to show up for yourself and provide, you know, yourself with that self-care that you need. And so the other part of that is, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what you're here for, then you don't know how to like show your self-care, because you can't sort of, I suppose, identify with who you are in as a person and what you're, you know, what lights you up. And so I think that's where the concept of self-worth and self-care being so interlinked, in my view. And the other part of it is that I think that, you know, if we put another equation into it, it's self-care plus self-love equals self-worth. And so if we can start to identify the areas that we are lit up in, that we're inspired in, that we are comfortable in kind of bearing our soul and becoming, you know, vulnerable in, then we'll find that that sort of self-worth starts to materialize for us. Because I'm feeling a little bit low vibe, I'm not going to be doing a long talk today. And really, it's sort of, I wanted to show up and I had a few notes to kind of reference. And otherwise, it was sort of just like going with what sort of came out. So the other part of today, I wanted to share with you an EFT tapping sequence that I like to use and that I have provided my clients as well in some training that we've done, in some workshops and masterclasses, and this one is around self-worth, of course. So if you aren't familiar with tapping, with EFT, basically what it is it will it's something that will actually change the energy within our body. So you might notice after me, I haven't tapped this morning, so after me tapping today, you might notice that my energy will shift. And so I want you to just acknowledge, like recognize that within myself, and if you're following along with me, notice how you might shift. We tend to, with tapping, we like to measure like our level of intensity around a particular subject or feeling or limiting belief that we have. And so if you feel like your self-worth is quite low at the moment, just sort of recognize where that's at out of 10. Is, 10 being something that is like over, very, very, like you're very anxious about it, you're very stuck, and you know, like if you were struggling with something, you know, you would potentially not be willing to go outside, not being wanting to be seen by anyone. So that's like a 10, you know, level. And then 1 or 0 is basically, you know, you have no problem with this issue. This is not an issue for you anymore. It's gone from your existence, I suppose. So just measure where you're feeling at the moment, and we will start to see things move within our body. So we are actually tapping on points within our body that are very much linked to meridian points. So it's similar to acupressure or acupuncture in that we are connecting with the energy centers within our body. So this one is just a 2-round positive affirmation set. And so what we're going to do is just, I will say the affirmation out loud, and tap on the point, and if you can just copy what I'm doing, I'll leave enough of a break for you to follow along. All right, so we need to have a deep breath and a bit of a drink of water. I have my peppermint tea here, but it's probably a little bit too hot, so I'm going to hold off on that. So if you're joining me, just grab a quick sip. Of some water. Deep breath in. All right, let's get started. Tapping after me. I am worthy of success. Abundance is my birthright. Success comes easily to me. I am worthy of having whatever I want in life. I am worthy of happiness. I already have all the experience I need. And I am a complete success. Because that is what I deserve. I deserve to have a life that brings me joy. Where I have fun every single day. Where money flows easily to me. From sources I already know. And some that I don't. It doesn't matter where it comes from. I am worthy of abundance. And my life and business is already a success. Deep breath in. And let it go. So sometimes we might find that we want to repeat the positive affirmations until we feel like the level has dropped down. For me, it's certainly adjusted. It's certainly come down a bit for, like the feeling of I'm worthy of success and that I, am showing up here today in all of my warts and all kind of, I suppose, perspective. Now, as I said, this was going to be a short one, so we're pretty much at ending it here. If you had any questions about the talk today around self-worth and self-care and how you can show up for yourself, how you can identify the aspects of your life that you would like to treat yourself, like in a way. So like self-care is about treating yourself well and showing yourself love. So if you need support in that, this is definitely up my alley and very much something I'm very passionate about, helping people to identify who they are and what they're here to do with their life and in this world. So if you're interested in reaching out, there's a lot of different ways you can work with me, whether it's one-on-one, in a group, through masterclasses. Do let me know, and thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this a beneficial and helpful info session, I suppose, and hopefully I have inspired someone else to show up when their sort of energy feels a little bit off, a little bit different to how they normally would like to show up. because, as I said at the start, it's really important to represent like every aspect of our lives to people. It's very easy to kind of just like hide away and shy away online, and that is, not being honest. It's not being honest with people that are following you, that are connected with you, and it certainly isn't being honest with yourself, because you're only showing an aspect, like a particular viewpoint of who you are. So slightly, changed the topic a little bit, but still kind of connected everything nicely together with self-worth and self-love and self-care. I'm going to leave that there today, and please reach out if I can support you in any way, and I will catch you in another video. I might start drinking my peppermint tea now too. Have a beautiful day. See ya.